So welcome to our Sunday Namaste gathering. And we're going to begin with the words, where I am. Where I am. I'm sure many images or ideas come to mind when we hear those three words. We could say, where I am is here, right now. And that would be very good to be fully present right here, right now. Where I am is where love is, perhaps, is what will come into our mind. But more than anything, that statement, where I am, indicates where that divine spark is resting right now, through and as you. That light, that fire is resting right here, where I am. And when you are aware of that, I am, that presence, that light, that fire, everything begins to just fall into its natural right place. So we find ourselves lifted as in a hot air balloon above the world, soaring. That is where I am, soaring above this world. So, this morning I wrote a song about that. Guess what it's called? Where I Am. So let's use this as our opening meditation. Where I am, you will forever be. Where I am, you will forever be. For I am here at last to set you free. I am here to set you free from the snares and temptations you have accepted into your mind. But I am here now to remind you that when you look for me, love is all you'll find. Love is all you'll find. For I am here and forever will remain. I am here and forever will remain. And I am here to show we are the same. I am here to tell you we're the same. For I have loved you from the beginning and will continue for all time. You need do nothing for me to see you, for I have claimed you as mine, claimed you as mine. Where I am, you will forever be. Where I am, you will forever be. Yes, where I am, you will forever be. Where I am, you will forever be. Where I am, you will will forever be where I am. You will forever be, yes, where I am. You will forever be where I am. You will forever be within me. That first line, I think, says it all. We could just stop right there. Where I am, you will forever be. If we could just relax into that, if we could just finally receive that one single message, where I am, you will forever be. That would be it. It's funny how there are these linchpin messages or teachings, one little key that if you were to get and really accept, the door just flies open on its own. And I think that's one of those. Where I am, you will forever be. We have tried to believe or make believe that that is not true, that I can be somewhere else. I can be anywhere I choose. I can be anywhere I want because I'm an independent being. I'm free to do whatever I want to do. Everything in this world makes that the highest achievement, to be independent, the declaration of independence, rather than the declaration of dependence. And that's that statement, where I am, forever you will be. Where I am, I guess is another way of saying that. I am where I am right now. And as we're going to continue to hear, this does not make any sense to the intellectual mind, and it's not meant to. So often we try to get this intellectually. We even have paths like A Course in Miracles, for example, that are meant to use thought to undo thought, or use concepts to undo all concepts. And that is a very, very strong and very, very powerful path. And yet there are also the paths like this one, where it's not about trying to think this. It's about just sinking into this and letting it do its own work, letting it shift you completely by just being what it is. And so the lesson that we're going to hear today is very much the same, and it's going to say that very directly. Don't try to understand this intellectually, but maybe you'll hear one line. Maybe it's that one line from the song, where I am, you will forever be. And you'll just sink into that like quicksand, and you'll just feel yourself fully embraced by that one single shaft of light that changes everything. And it won't be an intellectual grokking. You won't suddenly say, hey, I got it. What you'll say is, hey, it got me. Suddenly, finally, I got out of the way, so it got me. So I'm going to share one of the lessons from this collection I'm doing, The Impersonal Light. Someone was asking me the other day, when are we going to continue the lessons on the impersonal life? I said, well, those ended a long time ago. It kind of started off with me thinking that it was going to be sort of a modern rendition or a modern re-languaging, but it just took hold and became something very different. So we're going to continue with that and see where that leads us. But it's going to be very directly to your soul, not to your mind. Now, before we start, we have to be reminded who it is that's talking. So when it begins by saying, my consciousness is the inner essence of all space and all life. It's a very big statement, but who is it that's saying that? My consciousness is the inner essence of all space and all life. Is it some sort of limited personality? Or is it the all that is which we share together? Once again, where I am, you will forever be. This is ultimately you speaking to you, but not the you that you've defined as you. But the moment you let that recede and melt and just, like the mist, just evaporate, suddenly what's revealed is the truth of who you are. And that's really the only purpose of this, is to sort of blow away that mist so that you can finally see. Take off the blindfold, as it's about to say. So let's start from the beginning. My consciousness is the inner essence of all space and all life. Another way to say this would be, everything that is what it is through and as me. Once again, everything that is what it is through and as me, the I am consciousness we share. That is a very big statement that your mind is never going to get. But maybe you feel, when you really hear that, maybe you'll feel that shaft of light penetrating. That's all we're here for, is that shaft of light to penetrate the armor that you have been wearing for so long to try and block this. Why? It makes no sense. And the good thing is you finally see that it makes no sense. It seemed to make sense for a moment, but now you realize that made no sense. Why would I want to block the light that reveals everything? Why am I wearing this clunky armor when I don't need to? Once again, see if you can just really breathe this in. Everything that is what it is through and as me, the I am consciousness we share. Do you see that there is nothing outside this? For my mind and my essence contain all there is and ever will be. Likewise, the truth of your essence is the same as the truth of my essence, because what is essential in one is essential in all and for all. Wow. This one's not messing around. This one's going right to the core. Let me read this last part again. The truth of your essence is the same as the truth of my essence. Okay, we got that. Because, and this is the important part, what is essential in one is essential in all and for all. What is essential in one, and one here, the whole word is capitalized. What is essential in one is essential in all, capitalized, and for all, capitalized. You may be trying to understand this, what you just heard, through the faculty of your intellect. It will only confuse you further, because the mind you are using to try to understand this truth is not my mind, and is therefore not in my mind. And what is not in my mind is not in your mind either. And therefore, it is not real. If it's not in the mind of that I am presence, it's not really in your mind, though you have made believe that it is. Once again, don't try and get this, understand it. Don't try and grok it. Just sink into it. It will make perfect sense when that light goes off inside you. You'll say, yes. Okay. The intellectual mind you use to navigate through the world you think you live in cannot see past itself or its limitations, and therefore cannot perceive what I am, or where I am, which is everywhere at once. Once again, the intellectual mind that you use to navigate through the world you think you live in cannot see past itself. The intellectual mind you're using cannot see past itself or its limitations. And therefore, You cannot perceive what I am or where I am, which is everywhere at once. The mind, the intellect cannot perceive of everything at once. Because once again, it has accepted limitations that do not really exist. Whereas the only thing that really does exist is everything at once. You have identified with that mind, that limited mind, and have therefore lost your way. Wandering blindfolded through a forest you believe to be dark and foreboding. All I am asking you to do is take off the blindfold and see that the path before you is clearly lit and easily followed. The forest is not dark at all, but it seemed so when your eyes were covered. Now that they're not covered, everything appears before you exactly as it really is, as opposed to how it seemed to be in your imagination. So what is this speaking to other than the experience? You trying to grok this intellectually is you holding up a shield to the experience. All I'm saying is drop the shield. What you think you're using to try and understand something is really your defense, so that you don't get it. But when you drop all of those defenses, you realize it always had you. And so that's the experience that will open, awaken, undo all of these tangled webs within us. And I love this image that it uses of the blindfold, that you've been wearing this blindfold, walking through what you believe to be a dark and foreboding forest. And all the while that forest was very well lit and the path was very well defined. Only one thing needed to happen. You had to take off the blindfold and accept the experience. What does it mean to accept the experience? I know we talk about that all the time. And it isn't something that can really be explained. I really can't tell you. All we can really do for one another is to demonstrate it vibrationally. We use the analogy often of a fire and the heat that comes from that fire. And the closer you get to that fire, the more you feel the heat. And the closer you get to this, the more you sense the experience until it just washes over you completely. And that's why St. Francis said, teach the gospel wherever you go, and only when necessary, use words. The concepts don't really get you there. The concepts may possibly, I'm not sure about this even, but it may possibly till the soil. But it's not going to get there. Because you're already there, and that's really the key. You're already home, but you're blindfolded and you can't see that. And so the experience is nothing more than taking off the blindfold that you placed around your own eyes because for some reason, guilt entered your mind and you thought that you had to pay for some sin that you thought you committed that in reality never happened. So take off that blindfold, or at the very least, or maybe the very best, let it be taken off for you. The Holy Spirit can undo all of these errors and all of these strange decisions if only we would allow. So we allow now. I think there was one final sentence here. Let me see that. It says, yes, I am everywhere at once, and that is all you need to know. And where I am, you will forever be. Where I am, we're back to that. You will forever be. The truth of who you are. Last night we all had a bunch of dreams. Maybe we remember them, maybe we don't. I had some strange dream that I don't even know who I was with, but it was a child and there was a dog that ate yeast and died. I know, it was a very strange dream. And it was getting progressively stranger. And, but I woke up with that image, and I realized it was getting very strange up until the very end, and probably would have continued to get strange because it was my mind telling me it's time to wake up. You all have that experience when you've been sleeping too long, the dreams start to get progressively darker and weirder? Look at the world, guys. It's time to wake up. It's time to take that blindfold off and see who and where you've always been. So, that being said, hold on, I need to put us on Bluetooth, so 1 second. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to see if Vicki is here with us. Vicki, are you here this morning?
I'm here, Jimmy. Oh, yes.
Good
right
morning,
here.
Vicki.
Morning, Jimmy. I missed you Friday. Morning, everybody. Nice to be here. So, Jimmy, I picked up 3 things that I would reference for myself. The first, you know, the idea of a Declaration of Independence, it is what the whole world of separation is formed on, that there's something outside of us that would make us happy. That
Oh. Come on back. Hold that thought. That's a good portrait, though.